Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make a sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. I welcome you, my respected sisters, to today's class. I hope everybody is doing well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. If you are able to hear me loud and clear, please give me some feedback in the chat window. And you know the host for giving the feedback is your answers, please, right here. After having some feedbacks, inshallah, we'll start the class. Inshallah, we'll start the class now. Today we will be doing lesson number 9, inshallah. Lesson number 9 is the continuation of the previous chapter. Alhamdulillah, we have learned the following in the previous lessons. We started this lesson and we saw in this lesson the fa'il and the maf'ul, the doer and the object of the verb, both were coming as pronouns. So we have studied that and we have done some of the questions, some of the exercises, and this is what our new lesson is. So once again, as a quick reminder, the doer could come as a proper noun. You can see darabal mudarrisu, and the object of the verb, which is called maf'ulun bihi in Arabic language, in Arabic grammar, is also coming as a proper noun. You can see at-taliba. But it is also possible that you have a verb sentence like this one, but you have fa'il as an apparent noun. So you can see somebody's name or gender as a doer, but the object would be just a damir, as we see in this case, sa'ala, who. So who is mafulun bihi? Hamid asked him. Hamid is the doer. Sa'ala is the verb, which means question. And who asked? Hamid asked who? Hamid asked him. It is also possible that you can have a verb sentence, a verb which has file attached to that as a damir, and also mafulun bihi is attached to that as a damir. So in this example, I asked you, we can only see the verb and then we don't see any apparent noun, rather we see both coming as pronouns. And we know that the i'rab for the doer, the fa'il, is always marfu, and the object and the i'rab for the object, mafulun bihi, is always mansub. So this is verb sentence. Somebody may say, okay, darab al-mudarrisu mudarrisu at-taliba, this is a verb sentence, but is this a verb sentence? Sa'altuka. Why not? Look, what is the verb sentence means? Verb sentence means, what are the pillars of verb sentence? What are the pillars of noun sentence? Mubtada and khabar. You need to have mubtada and khabar. Likewise, in verb sentence, you need to have two things, which are the pillars, which is verb and the doer of the verb. These two are must for a sentence to be there. Maf'ulun bihi, the object on whom the action was done, will sometimes be there, sometimes will not be there, depending on what type of verb is that. So this is a jumla. This is a sentence. Everybody would agree. ضرب المدرس الطالب. But somebody may say, is this a jumla? سألتك. Yes, it is a jumla, because if you look at the meaning, I asked you. I asked you is what is a sentence. It's the beauty of Arabic language that you could have a sentence, but just looks like it's just one word. So somebody who does not know Arabic language, they will think it's just one word. But Alhamdulillah, you know, sisters, that this is not one word. This is the whole sentence. It has got a word, it has got the doer, and it also has got the object of the word. So sa'altuka is a complete sentence. So in this sentence, we are saying it's a complete sentence because the object is there. Is it possible that there are only verb and doer? Will it still be a complete sentence? Yeah, why not? If I say dhahaba, what's the translation of dhahaba? He went. Is it not a sentence? Right? If I say dhahabu, they all went. Is it not a sentence? If I say I went, dhahabtu, it's also a sentence. So sentence sometimes can be three different words: verb, doer, and mafulun bihi. Sometimes it's possible that sentence will have only two words, the verb and then mafulun bihi, as in this case, will be attached, and then there'll be a separate word, hamidun, in this case, for example. It is also possible for a jumla, for a verb sentence, to be all in one word. But alhamdulillah, we as students, we know that this one word is not one word. Basically, this starting part is the verb, and then there's a doer, and then there is a object. So I hope it is clear. So all I'm trying to tell you is, if you see Saltuka, don't say, oh, this is not a sentence. This is a sentence because it has got all the requirements which are needed for a sentence, which is a verb and the doer, and additionally it has got mafulun bihi, object of the verb, as well. So I hope you got this, sisters. So the doer and the object can be a parent noun or pronoun. This is what we have seen previously. So let's start with our exercise number 4. So in this one, assign al-fa'il and maf'ulun bihi in the following sentences. As I told you, the chapter we are doing is called Isnadud Damair. We have done previously Isnadud Damair. Again, we are doing Isnadud Damair. We are attaching the pronouns to the verbs, right? So assign fa'il and maf'ul in the following sentence. Draw one line under the fa'il and two lines under the maf'ulul bihi and verbalize it. So this is what they are asking you to do. So if you have a sentence, kasara, in English, the child broke the pen. Kasara tiflu al-qalama. So we have to draw one line for a fa'il and two lines for the doer. How will we do that? Because we will see the i'rab. If the i'rab of the word coming after the verb is marfu, it means it is a doer. So we will draw one line like this one. And then we will see the next word. If that verb is mansoob, it has got a fatha on the last letter, then we'll know it's mafulun bihi. And the question is asking us to draw two lines. So kasara tiflu al-qalama, the child broke the pen. Now in this sentence, Amina washed the handkerchief. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the brother who has done this work. You have all the English translation given here. But my suggestion is, my request is, sisters, when you open the book, please close your notes and just go through these sentences and then try to put one line and two lines and see how strong you are in identifying the doer and identifying the mafulun bihi, which is the object, because it is very necessary that we are able to know that. Because if the sentences, one word is written daraba and then hamidun and zaidan, and we don't know the difference between marfu and mansub, we may think daraba hamidun zaidan means that Zaid is the one who is hitting the hamid, or then, or we may say, or Hamid is hitting Zaid. I don't know, because you do not know the Arab. But once you know the Arab, you will know, alhamdulillah, that doer is always marfu. The fa'il is always marfu. Here you go. And the object of the verb is always mansub. I hope it is enough explanation at the top of what we already understood in the last lesson. غسلت آمنة المنديل. Amina washed the handkerchief. Who is the doer? Of course, Amina. It's in the English translation. Al-Mindila is the handkerchief. Now, let's not look at the translation. Akala usamatu al-inaba. Akala is the verb, means to eat. Who is the doer here? Al-inaba or Usama? Is the grape eating Usama, or Usama is eating grape? Usama. How do we know? Usama has got a dhamma, so we will draw a single line. Al-inaba, of course, now the file is done. We know who is the doer. So what left is for us to find out in this sentence is the mafulun bi. So we can just close our eyes and say it's mafulun bi. And anyway, we know there is a fatha on that. So this word is mansub. Now look at this one. وَأَكَلَتْ زَوْجَتُهُ الْمَوْزَ. Akala is the verb. This ta is called tautanis. Why it is coming here? Because the doer is the feminine. How do we know doer? Because we see this who is on zawjatu, and we will not say zawjatu who is the doer. No, zawjatu is the doer. Who is simply mudafile. What is the meaning? His wife, right? So, and his wife ate bananas. So who is doing the action? His wife. And what is she doing? She's eating bananas. So al-mawza, banana is mansub, and this is what mafulun bihi is. Now, if you look into your book, you'll find sharibat and then al-baqaratu. So sharibat has got sukoon. Here you can see the expression, but I want you to understand and remember it once again. So the first the last letter of the first word has got a sukoon, and the next word first letter has got a sukun. So iltiqai sakin and meeting of two sukun. What do you do in this situation? You will put a kasra. You will say sharibatil baqaratul ma. But if there was a tanween, what do? We have done before, right? If it was tanween and then alif lam is coming, then we will put noon. Mentally, we will put noon on the last letter and put a kasra, and then we'll make the sound of nil. Nil. Here we'll say shariba til. So this star with the kasra and it's getting joined with the next word. So sharibatil baqaratul ma'a. So if even you don't know the meaning of anything, you only know the shariba means the action of drinking. How will you know who is doing what? Who is drinking? Is the water drinking the cow or the cow drinking the water? Of course, cow is drinking the water. So sharibatil bakaratul ma'a. The cow drank the water. Hafiza hamzatul Qur'ana. Hafiza is the verb. Hamza is our doer, and al-Qur'ana, what is he memorizing? He is memorizing al-Qur'an. So al-Qur'ana is mafulun bihi. Darabat Fatimatu bintaha. You see, now you have to be careful. Fa'il or maf'ul, they can come as a single word like this one here, Fatimatu, single word. You know, Fatimatu is doing the action. And who is Fatima hitting? Bintuha, bintuha. So you see, bintuha is two words, mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Pay attention, sisters. This is important, and this is good if you know that. So what is the mafulun bihi in this case? We know Fatima is hitting. Fatima is hitting her daughter. So this ha only means her. Look, the word bint has got a ta in the end and ta has got a fatha. So binta, this ba, noon and ta are mafulun bihi, and we'll say this is mafulun bihi and it is also mudaf, and ha is mudaf ilayh. So we have seen in this example that is it possible for mafulun bihi to come as a mudaf. If we go back to the previous sentence, so akalat zawjatuhu al-mawza. Why zawjatu? It is two words. Zawjatu and who. Zawjatu is mudaf and who is mudaf ilayh. Why in this case zawjatu has got dhamma on last letter? Because she is doing the action. So one who is doing the action is fa'il, and fa'il is always marfu. And why this ta has got a fatha? Because she is not doing the action. Fatima's daughter is not doing the action. Fatima is doing the action of hitting. Her daughter is the object of the action. Upon her the action is being done. So this is mansub, and the i'rab of mansub is fatha, as we can see here. And then the seventh one is qatala rajulu al-hayyata bil-hajari. Now, qatala, we know, is the verb killed. Who is killing? The man is killing. Al-qatala rajulu. And what is he killing? Snake, al-hayyata. So al-hayyata is mafulun bihi. What is coming after that? Don't include that as mafulun bihi. This is plain ba is harf jar, and after that is coming ism majroor. So you could say it's harf jar and ism majroor, or there's another name for that, which is jar majroor. Jar majroor means there is a harf jar and then there is a noun which is majroor. So qatala rajulul hayyata bil hajari. Qatala is the fi'l madi, ar-rajul is the fa'il, and the sign of the fa'il is it is marfu, and al-hayya is mafulun bihi, object of the verb, and the sign of being its object is mansub, and we see the sign by fatha, and bil hajari is jar majrur. And then sami'a bilalun. Now this, here comes the previous example. Please tell me, how will I read? What I'm going to read now, if it's correct, press 1, and if it is wrong, please press 2. I should read sami'a bilalun al-adhana. Sami'a bilalun al-adhana. Is this the right way of saying that, sisters? It is not, because if I say Sami'a Bilalun, I'm giving a comma and then I'm starting a new sentence, Al-Adhana. So these are two different sentences, whereas in actuality, they both are the part of the sentence. So I should say Sami'a Bilalunil Adhana. So this tanween Bilalun, the noon has got sukoon and the lam has got sukoon in the next word. How to resolve this iltiqai sakinain, how to resolve the problem of meeting of two vowel-less letters, is that you mentally put a noon here and put a kasra and say Sami'a Bilalunil Adhana. So Sami'a is the verb. Who heard the adhan? Bilal. So Bilal is the doer. What did Bilal hear? He listened. He heard adhan. So adhan is the mafulun bi. وَذَهَبَ إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ. Beautiful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the soul of Sheikh Abdul Rahim. Amin ya Rab. Look how beautifully he's bringing things. وَذَهَبَ إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ. What is ذَهَبَ? ذَهَبَ is the word. Where's the doer? Can we see the doer here? What were we supposed to do? Put a single line under doer and two lines under maf'ulun bihi under object. So ذهب is the verb, first of all, which does not require a maf'ulun bihi. ذهب زيد. Zaid went. We don't, this his action is not affecting anybody. So there's no maf'ulun bihi, one thing. Number second, where is the doer? Because if there's a doer, then you will underline it. But here, doer is there. Remember, all actions must have a doer, but doer is hidden. Doer is hidden. The dhahaba means huwa dhahaba. How do we translate in English? He went. So what will we say if somebody says dhahaba, where's the doer? You'll say dhahaba is the verb and doer is hidden inside. Doer is damirun mustatirun. So damir huwa is hidden inside the dhahaba. And this we can find out by translating in English. Dhahaba means he went. So the translation is wa dhahaba ila al-masjidi. Now, this is the English translation because you already are talking about Bilal. And in English, you will not say Bilal heard the azan and he went to the masjid. You can say, but if you don't want to say he you will simply say and went to the masjid. So you know who you are talking about, Bilal. So likewise here, but if you do word to word translation, you will say Bilal heard the adhan and he went to the masjid. Why? Because the translation of dhahaba is he went. But this translation is also fine because this is done from the English mindset. Next is kataba al-mudarrisu ad-darsa. Kataba is the verb, means to write. Indicative meaning of the word kataba is to write. I explained that before. I'll tell you once again. We will use the word indicative meaning from now onwards for the verb. Why will we use indicative meanings? Because now we know more verbs. We know the madi and we have also practiced the mudare. Kataba yaktubu. Kataba means he wrote. Yaktubu means he's writing. And uktub is fi'l amr, means you write. So if I say to you kataba, then I have to say kataba means he wrote. And then yaktubu is written there, so I'll have to explain. Yaktubu means he's writing or he will write, and then the word uktub is also mentioned, fail amr, let's say in some explanation. Then I have to explain that as well. Oh, uktubu means you write. It takes too much time. All you need to understand is the name of the verb, understand the action, what action is being carried out here. So for kataba, we will, from now on, we will say indicative meaning, or its meaning is to write. Samaya will say its meaning is to hearing or listening. Qatala means to kill. Daraba means indicative meaning is to hit. Hafiza means to memorize or to save. Shariba means to drink. Akala means to eat. Gasala means to wash. Kasara means to break. But don't just come back and say kasara means to wash, but kasara means he washed. Akala means he ate. Qatala means he killed. Why are you not mentioning he? But because we are running this course, sisters, and we want to learn things. So we don't want to repeat something which we already know. I hope you are getting there. So from now onward, kataba, I'll simply say kataba, action of writing. And then you will understand if it is in Madi, Madi in this form, it means he wrote. If there was a waw alif with there, you will understand the meaning. It means they wrote. If I was katabtu, I will simply say kataba means writing, and you will understand katabtu means I wrote. And if it was katabna, it means we wrote. I hope it is clear. And if it's not clear, when we will put this into practice, inshallah, you will understand. So katabal mudarrisu darsa, the action of writing. Who is doing the action of writing? Al mudarrisu. We can see there's a dhamma here. What is the teacher writing? A letter or a lesson? He is writing a lesson, a dars. So a darsa is mansoob. And ala sabura. What is ala sabura? Ala is harf jar. A saburate is the noun which is coming after harf jar, and hence it is majrur. We can say ala harf jar and a saburati is majrur, or we can make a short form and we can say jar majrur. So how will we analyze kataba? Past tense, which is fail madi. Al mudarrisu is the doer, which is a file, and the alamatu raf'ihi, because file is always marfu. What is the alama of marfu? What is the sign of this word being marfu? It's a single dhamma here, right? And if when for that I'll say this is mafulun bihi, object of the verb, and then I'll ask what is the sign? You will say the sign is a fatha. And then I'll say what is ala? You will say ala is harf jar. What is a sabura? You will say this is noun, which is majrur. Or if I just ask you what is ala sabura in this sentence, you will say this is jar majrur. But your mind will know that when you are saying jar majrur, it means there's a harf jar and the next word is ism majrur. Then the next one is فتح البقال الدكان في الساعة الثامنة. The grocer opened the shop at 8 o'clock. So fataha is the verb which means to open. Al-baqalu is the grocer, the shopkeeper, right? Ad-dukkana, this is fatha here. So dukana, what did he open? He opened the shop. What is fi sa'ati thaminati? The fi is harf jar, as-sa'ati is ism majrur, and a-thaminati is what, sisters? Who can tell me? We have studied these numbers, that when numbers are coming like this, what are they? They are naat and man'ut, right? Fi sa'ati thamina, fi is harf jar, as-sa'ati is harf majrur, ism majrur, and a-thaminati is the naat for this man'ut. I hope it is clear. Now here, it's a little bit next stage, complete the following sentences with proper words and vowelize them. So you will see in the book man fataha. Now you have to use your mind. What do you say after man fataha? This will also make you strong, that you know the meaning of fataha. Fataha means to open. I can't say man fataha and then I can say something very strange. If I man fataha and then what can I say? What can you open? You can open the door, you can open a book, you can open the window, but I cannot say man fataha al-qalam. Can I say man fataha al-qalam, who opened the pen? Most likely I cannot say that, right? So I hope you're getting that. So here you have to now start using the common sense, so that you know that this sentence will make some sense. So even in English, you're saying we opened, and I say put some word after we opened. What will you say? You will say we opened the door. You will not say we opened something strange which is not possible to be opened, right? You can't say we opened the rain, subhanallah. You can't say we opened the walk. You can't say we opened the run. You can't say we opened the hitting. Right? So you'll say we opened the door. So think like this. When you see man fataha, understand the meaning of fataha. If you don't remember, go back to the book, go to the vocabulary, see what's the meaning of fataha, and then make the sentence. If it's difficult for you, then think first fataha means open, then think in the English, what word do I wanna use? The door, the book, the window, and then put that word accordingly. So, but another test here would be, okay, you know the door. You know the door is a babun, but or al babu if you're using with the, because da is coming here. You here once again you will test yourself. Are you going to write man fatah al babu, man fatah al babi, man fatah al baba? So you will use your common sense once again. You know fataha is the verb. It's a verb sentence, right? And fataha means he opened. So what you need now is a mafulun bihi. So mafulun bihi is always mansub. You can't say man fatah al babi. You can't say man fatah al babu. You understand, sisters? You must say man fatah al baba. So it would mean we open the door. Next is my sister washed the shirt. You have in the book given ghasalat ukhti. So you have a verb. You have this ta tanis, this ta with the sukun. This is called harfut tanis. This tells us that the doer, the word coming afterwards, is a feminine. As we can see, is ukhti, my sister. My sister washed. My sister washed what? Okay, I say my sister washed the handkerchief. What's the Arabic for handkerchief? Do you know that? The handkerchief, al-mindil. So what will I say? غسلت أختي المنديل or al-mindili or al-mindila? Definitely I should say al-mindila, because al-mindila is the object, which is the object of the verb of the washing. So, but here we have the shirt. How will you say al-khamisa? We will not say al-khamis or al-khamisi. We will say al-khamisa, because this is mansub and mafulul bihi is always mansub. And then the table stand. You don't have a verb, but you have other things given. So the other things are ar-rajulu al-hayyata bil-asa. Ar-rajulu means the man, al-hayya means the stick, and bil-asa means with the stick. Now we have to think what the man could do with the stick, using the stick with the snake. He's not gonna do something else, he's gonna kill it, right? So قتل الرجل الحية بالعصا. In this example, you have to come up with the verb. And then you have Yusufu and al-qahwata. So Yusuf is there and qahwa is there. Qahwa is mafulun bi. Yusuf is marfu. So you can see that Yusuf and coffee. What it could be? Oh, Yusuf drank coffee. So you have to bring the verb which is suitable for drinking. You can't say akala Yusuf al-qahwa, because coffee cannot be ate, coffee can be drank. So it says shariba Yusuf al-qahwa. And then you have another thing, katab al-mudarrisu, fill in the blanks, ala sabburati. The teacher wrote, fill in the blanks, on the writing board. Now, what can he write on the writing board? He cannot write letter to his family on the writing board. Obviously, yeah, that's a private thing. He will not write a text message on the writing board. He is going to write the lesson. What's the Arabic for lesson? Ad-dars. Now the question is ad-darsu, ad-darsa, ad-darsi. So you will think about it. Kataba is the word. Al-mudarris is the doer. What is missing from here is mafulun bihi, because Kataba is the word which requires mafulun bihi, right? We have seen that. Somebody may say, how do I know this requires mafulun bihi or not? Because you said some verbs require mafulun bihi and some do not require. Very good question. Of course, you don't know yet. We have not studied the topic where we will be, inshallah, able to identify by looking at the verbs and going through a few more things and maybe perhaps dictionaries sometimes to identify if this verb requires mafulun bihi or not. But, a very big but, this word kataba we have seen used in the book so many times, and every time it came with mafulun bihi, the object of the verb. So you know that we are missing a mafulun bihi here. So you will now you know that teacher wrote the lesson. Now what will you say? Ad-darsu, ad-darsa, ad-darsi. You will say ad-darsa. Why? Because it is mansub. You have to come up with the mansub because it is mafulun bihi. You can't say ad-darsu because you know mafulun bihi is missing. Mafulun bihi cannot be mansub. Can mafulun bihi be majrur, sisters? Is the possibility? Please give me some number one on the chat box if you think mafulun bihi can sometime be majrur if we feel like. Is it possible? If yes, then please write one. If mafulun bihi can never be majrur, can never be marfu, then please press two. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Well done. Mafulun bihi will always be mansoob. Mafulun bihi will never be marfu and never be majroor. And then we have Su'adul Khubza. So name of the Su'ad, the name of the sister is given Su'ad, and then the word is the bread. So what is possible? There are many possibilities that maybe Su'ad has cooked the bread. Maybe Su'ad has made the pieces of the bread. But what verb we have read so far, which we can put here without thinking too much, and that is to eat, akala. So we will say akalat su'adul khubza. One more thing, interesting thing to learn is we will put this ta here because the doer is what? Doer is su'ad, su'ad is feminine. You can't say akala su'ad, that will be wrong. Akala is used for male. If it was hamid, we say akala hamidun, hamidun al khubza. But here you will say akalat. But by the way, why Suad is having Dhamma here? Does anybody know? I just said for the example, akalat Hamidunil khubza. So I say Hamid. Why Yusuf has got Dhamma here? Because if Zaid was drinking coffee, you say Shariba Zaidun. Akala Hamidun. Why Suad is not having tanween, Yusuf not having tanween? Any ideas? Because Yusuf is a foreign name. It's mamnu min as-sarf. It's diptoed. It's the word which will not accept tanween. What about Suad? Suad is a feminine name, and we know that feminine Maryam, Zainab, Ruqayya, or Safiya, all of these will not accept tanween. I hope you are revising. Now, qara'tu. Now here comes the example where the verb and the doer both are coming in one word. Qara'tu means I read. What did I read? Now, Al-Qur'ana, you could write Al-Qur'ana or Al-Kitaba. The thing is, if you think of Al-Qur'an, for example, are you going to say Al-Qur'anu, Al-Qur'ana, Al-Qur'ani? You will say Al-Qur'ana because you need a verb which is a mafulun bihi, mansoob here, right? Because it's coming as an object of the action of reading. So you'll say Al-Qur'ana. If you have read the book, you will say Al-Kitaba, right? And then Hamzatul Qat is coming for the question. And then the word is Al-Adhana ya Hamzatu. So the question will be, did Azan or Hamza? So what did you give Azan or did you hear Azan? We have not learned the verb for giving the Azan yet. We only know the verb which is for listening, hearing the Azan, and that is Sami'. So what do? As-sami'ta. We will add ta here because a questioner is asking question to Hamza. So saying as-sami'ta al-adhan, can he say as-sami'tu al-adhana ya Hamza? It would mean, did I hear the Azan or Hamza? This is not what it is. It is, did you hear Azan? So as-sami'ta, sami'a is the verb, fil madi, past tense, and ta is the file, the doer, damir, al-adhana. So this damir is playing the role of file. We know that, and it is marfu. Somebody may say, we have just seen that this the damir file is always marfu. Why there is a fatha here? Because why? Because damir pronouns, they are mabni. They don't change the way look. They stay the same. The way look. They don't change their appearances. They can sit in different chairs, and we know by those chairs that which chair are they sitting, and then we'll say that they are playing that role, right? So this ta, fortunately for us, this ta belongs to this category of verb, and this category of verb can only sit, is these muttasil attached pronoun, they can only sit in the chair of marfu. They cannot sit in the chair of mansub. You should not look at the title. Title is messed up. This mansoob should be here, and marfu should be marfu, not mansoob. Just ignore that. This attached pronoun is marfu. So sami'ta is the marfu pronoun. So we'll say it's ta is the fa'il, right? Okay. And then at-tajiru ad-dukana, the merchant, the shop. Two words you have, the merchant, the shop. What? The merchant sold the shop? But we haven't learned the verb for the selling. We only know the verb for the opening. So we will use the verb which we know. We'll say fataha tajiru ad-dukana. Fataha is the verb, madi, past tense verb. At-tajiru is the fa'il, and dukana is the mafulun bihi, the object of the verb. Kharaja tullabu min al-fasli. Kharaja is the verb. So basically you have the word, sentence at-tullabu min al-fasli. You have to bring something suitable before that. You may say dakhala, entered. You may say kharaja, he left, it's fine. Any verb you can put here, just put here. But remember, kharaja, dakhala, dhahaba, all of these verbs require only fi'l and fa'il, because there is no mafulun bihi here, and hence you can't see any mafulun bihi in this sentence. So kharaja is the verb, at-tullabu is the doer of the action, and min al-fasli is harf jar, and ism majrur means the noun which is coming after harf jar, which is majrur. What do we call it together, sisters? If we want to give it a one single name instead of saying four things, min is harf jar and al-fasli is ism majrur, what is the name for that? Can anybody give me some heads up? Even in the chat box, or write it please in the notebook. You can write it in English if you want to. What is it called together? We have to learn today as well. Then we have done it before as well. It is called jar majrur. Jar majrur. Well done. And then number 6. Here it's so simple, sisters. What you have to do is make mafulun bihi from all the following sentences and adjust their endings. So this is something we have just done. It was not in the chapter directly, but we have discussed that. You have a word al-Quran, and this is very, very good for you to become strong in your Arabic. You have just one word given al-Quran, you have to make a sentence. But when you make a sentence, you have to make sure that this word is coming as mafulun bihi. What you will say? Qara hamidunil Qur'ana. So al-Qur'ana, the only condition is the word they are giving you here, you should bring that as maf'ulun bi. It means you will change the haraka from marfu to mansub. Qara hamidunil Qur'ana. Or you may say Qara Aisha or qara talibu, anything you want to say, but just have to bring this word as maf'ulun bi. At-tufahu means the apple. How will you make a sentence? You may make a sentence like that. Akal al-waladu tufaha. The boy ate the apple. And then you have ad-darsu. Remember, it is with the dhamma. It is marfu. You have to make this word in the sentence as maf'ulun bihi, as object. How will you do? Fahimta darsa. Did you understand the lesson? Or you may say, katabtu darsa, I wrote the lesson. Or you may say kataba zaidun darsa. Or you could say kataba at-talibu darsa. Any sentence. But all you have to do is this ad-darsa should come as mafulun bi. It means it must have a fatha to show it is mansub. And then you have al-qahwatu. You have the word coffee. You have to bring this verb in the sentence as a mafulun bi. So you can say sharibtul qahwata. I drank the coffee. Or you may say shariba at-talibu al-qahwata. The student drank the coffee. Al-babu. You have the word door. You have to make a sentence. But in your sentence, al-bab should not be marfu. It should be mafulun bihi, and it should be mansub. This is what your test is. That when you are making the sentence, do you know how to put the correct vowel signs or not? So man fatah al-baba, who opened the door? It could be fataha at-talibu al-baba. The student opened the door, right? You can make a question, man fatah al-baba, or you can simply make a positive statement and say who opened the door, not in who, but with the name. مثلا فتح زيد الباب, فتح طالب الباب. Zaid opened the door, the student opened the door, and then you have the word al-qamisu. Al-qamisu again with the dhamma. So it is marfu word. Remember, the words with the dhamma are generally marfu. There's some exception, but generally, if you find Arabic word which has got dhamma, it is marfu. So al-qamisu is marfu. We want al-qamisu in our sentence as mafulun bihi. Mafulun bihi is always mansub, so we have to bring it with the dhamma. We can make many type of sentences. غسلت أختي القميص. غسل Zaidun al-qamisa. Zaid washed the shirt. You can say anything you want to say, as long as you are bringing al-qamisa as a mafulun bi and your sentence is making sense. You can't say akalat ukhti al-qamisa. My sister ate the shirt. That's not correct thing, right? So you have to think that when you are bringing this particular word in the sentence, the verb you are using is appropriate. You can't just use anything. One grammatical rule. We have done this before, but let's do it again in detail. What is the rule? Verbs at the beginning of the sentence and verbs which are not coming at the beginning of sentence. What do I mean by that? Look at this one. The verb which comes at the beginning of the sentence will always with the third person singular form of the verb. And the verbs which are not coming in the beginning of the sentence, they will reflect the number and the gender of the word coming before that. Let's see the example and we will understand. So look at this one. Ponder over the following example. At-tullabu dhahabu ila al-mal'abi. We all understand that. We don't have any problem. The students, they went to the playground. They went to the playground. So what's happening here? The verb is coming according to the noun before it because it was at-tullabu and because it was in other words, it was masculine and it was plural. We wrote dhahabu, dhahabu, right? If let's do the third example first. This one here. This one. Here it was at-tullabu dhahabu ila al-mal'abi. So the male students they went to the playground. But if it's a talibatu, what will you do? Can you say dhahabu? It would mean the female students, they male went to the library. This is wrong. So a talibatu is what? A talibatu is feminine. And a talibatu is plural. So what verb will you use? With noon, dhahabna, dhahabna. Here it is dhahabna for they all females, right? But here in the first case, it was a tullabu, the male students, the plural. So what did you use with the verb? You added wow. Wow shows that this is the what is coming before or the doer of this verb are the plurals and they are the masculine. So here we saw dhahabu is reflecting the gender and the number of the noun coming before that. In other way, we could say, as we have seen before that, if you look at this sentence, what kind of sentence is that? At-tullabu is ism, is a noun. It has got alif lam. It is marfu, so it is our mubtada. Mubtada and khabar, they both must match each other in gender and number. So al-tullabu is our mubtada. The male students, what could be the khabar? Khabar for them is they all male went to the playground. Can I say at-tullabu, which means the male students, and then my khabar is they all female went to the playground. Zahabna ila al-malak. That would be wrong. Mubtada and khabar will match in number because at-tullabu is plural. We are using waw here. Wawul Jama'a. This is called Wawul Jama'a, Waw of plurality. And because the Tullab is masculine, we are using this Waw, which is used for masculine. In this example, at-talibatu is once again our mubtada. Our sentence is beginning with the noun. Sentence which begins with the noun is called noun sentence. So where is the khabar? Khabar can be one word. Khabar can be phrase khabar, and khabar can be a jumla. So here khabar is coming as a sentence, a jumla. So at-talibatu means the female students. Can we say dhahabu ila al-maktabati? Please press one if you think we can repeat the same thing here, dhahabu ila al-maktabati. But if you think it's wrong, then press two. But if you press two, then you must know why you are doing this, sisters. You go a few seconds to choose your answers. Of course, it is written here. So the question really doesn't mean anything. But what I'm saying is write two or type two if you know why this is happening. If you don't know why, and you're just guessing or just looking at the screen, then please press one. So we see how many people are understanding it and how much time we need to spend on that. Well done. At-talibatu is our mubtada, and this mubtada is feminine, and this mubtada is plural. We need the khabar. Khabar must match this mubtada in plurality and in number. So, and in gender. So, in numbers, we will see this noon is giving us two meanings. This noon is used for what? For hunna, and hunna means they all females. So this dhahabna is telling us that the khabar of this mubtada is this sentence. And what is this sentence? They all females went to the library. So the female students comma, they all females went to the library. If you do word-to-word translation, it is like that. So this was one rule. What's the second rule? So this was the rule that if the sentence is beginning with the noun, if sentence is beginning with the noun, then the verb will always be according to the noun. As we've seen that the sentence is looking at the word before that. We are looking at the word before that to decide the right form of the verb. However, if your sentence is beginning with the verb, then you will have dhahaba coming in the beginning. Why dhahaba? Because dhahaba is the third person singular form. Look at this sentence. The meaning of both sentences is the same, but the structure is different. Dhahaba tullabu ilal mal'abi. Look, analyze the sentence. Dhahaba is what? Dhahaba is fi'l madi. Who is doing the action? At-tullabu. Ilal mal'abi, they went to the playground. So in this sentence, we see dhahaba is coming as a singular form. It's not coming dhahabu. I hope it is clear. Just understand one thing for ease, and then I'll try to explain a little bit more. Just understand one thing. Every time you will see or you will write a verb sentence, you will bring in the first form of the verb when you will begin the sentence with the verb, right? But what is the reason? Why I cannot have dhahabu here? Can I say dhahabu at-tullabu ila al-mal'abi? There's a problem. Dhahabu, this wow here is a pronoun. When can we use pronoun? Pronoun can be only used if your listener or reader knows about who you are talking. If I say dhahabu, then somebody may stop me right there. Not let me complete the sentence. Dhahabu, they went. Who went? I don't know who went. So I cannot use the word who. I must tell who am I talking about. I can only use Zahabu, if I've already spoken about Hamid and Mahmoud and Zaid, they came, they sat, they ate, and then they went, right? I cannot straight away say they went. You will say, who went? I don't know even who came here at the first place. So who went? So I hope you're getting that. So if the sentence is beginning with the verb, you will use the singular third form of the verb. But, and here it is. So if the sentence starts with the verb is always the third person singular form. If the sentence starts with the noun, the verb, which is coming after the noun, of course, will always match with the noun in number and gender. We've already seen that. The last one is very simple. ذهبت الطالبات إلى المكتبة. Why? What's the correct pronunciation? ذهبت الطالبات إلى المكتبة, because of sukun. But the crux is, we are not using dhahaba here. Why? Because the doer here, what we see is the females. So we know that if the doer of a verb is feminine, then we will use this ta, which is called taw tanith or harfut tanith. I hope it is clear, sisters. We'll do the exercise about it. Don't worry. Change the verb in the following sentences like shown in the example. So you have two examples. One more thing you will learn here is that you can make a sentence both ways and the meaning will remain same. You can either make a verb sentence or make a noun sentence, meaning will remain same. So look at the first sentence. Two things to learn here. Al-awladu sharibu al-qahwa. What's the translation? The boys, they drank the coffee. So this is a noun sentence beginning with the mubtada. And then the khabar is coming as jumla. In this sentence, second one, shariba. This is beginning with the verb, so this is a verb sentence. Awladu is the doer, because there is a dhamma, and al-qahwa is mafulun bi. This is the object of the verb, so it is mansub. But look at the transition. Is the transition differs? The boys, they drank the coffee. The boys, they drank coffee. Same meaning. So we also learn the sentences can be made in two ways, and they both will have separate meaning. But why it is done like this in Arabic, this is something we will learn, inshallah, in future lessons. There could be many reasons for that. But for now, you could say, ذهب محمد إلى المسجد. Muhammad went to the masjid. Or you could change it, say, Muhammadun ذهب إلى المسجد. You could say, كتب حامد الرسالة. Or you could say, حامد كتب الرسالة. Or you could say, أكل الطالب الخبز. So it's a verb sentence beginning with the verb. Or you could say, الطالب أكل الخبز. It's the same meaning, right? So this was one explanation that you can have both sentences and the meaning will remain same. What are we doing in this exercises? We are just going to practice what we have learned a while ago. If the verb is coming in the beginning of the sentence, it will be third person singular form. If the verb is not coming as the first word of the sentence, it is coming after the first word, then this verb will match in number and gender what is coming just before the verb. So let's see here. An-nasu sami'u al-adhana. The people, they heard the azan. Now change the sentence and bring the verb in the beginning. You cannot say sami'u an-nas al-adhana. You will say sami'an nasul adhana, because we know this rule. At-tullabu katabu al-ajwiba. The students, they wrote the answers. But if you want to bring the verb in the beginning, you will bring the singular form. You will not say katabu at-tullabu al-ajwiba. I have explained already why that you cannot have a damir pronoun coming when the person has not been mentioned anywhere before. Kataba at-tullabu al-ajwiba. At-talibatu dakhalna al-fasla. The female students, they entered the classroom. If I want to change this sentence from, because this is right now a noun sentence beginning with the noun, it is a mubtada. If I want to have the same meaning, but I want to make a verb sentence, so of course I have to start with the verb. So can I use dakhalna talibatul fasla? That will be wrong. I will use dakhalat. I will use dakhalat. Al-mudarrisuna kharaju min al-fasli. The teachers, they left from the classroom. Why kharaju? Why this waw is coming here? Because this waw is matching what is before that. Before that, it's a plural male, so I'm using waw here, right? Waw of jama, waw of damir, which is here in our favorite verb, zahabu. But if I want to change this sentence from noun sentence to verb sentence, how will I make that? I will say kharajal mudarrisuna min al fusuli. Will not say kharaju. As I told you, the rule of thumb, when you are beginning the sentence with the verb, you will always use the third person singular form of the verb. Kharajal mudarrisuna min al fusuli. Next is zumalai raja'u min Makkah. My classmates, they returned from the Makkah. So raja'u has got wow. Why? Because it's coming in the middle of the sentence. If it will come in the beginning, then the third form will come raja'a. Generally, raja'a, kharaja, zahaba means he went, right? But I told you in the first form of the verb, zahaba means he went, kataba means he wrote, samaya means he heard, shariba means he drank, kharaja means he left, raja means he returned. But why I'm not translating here as he and I'm saying my classmates returned? The teacher left. Why? Because the pronoun, the doer, is hidden. But here we can see the pronoun is in front of our eyes. So if you have found the pronoun, the doer, in front of your eyes, you don't have to tire your mind by thinking, oh, they must be hidden. If it's hidden, it means he. Because you see who is the doer, so you will not say that the transition is he. Rather, you will say Zumalai is the file, is the doer, and Raja is the verb. And then you have a sentence, Akhawati ghasalna al-qumsana. So al-qamis is the singular and al-qumsan is the plural. My sisters washed the shirts. How will you change this sentence to a verb sentence? Ghasalat akhawati qumsana. Only you will use, first you will use the third person form of the verb, which is ghasala, and then you will use this ta only to show that your doer is feminine. Ghasalat. At-tujjaru fatahu dukakina or dakakina. It should be dakakina. I think it's a mistake here. The merchants, they open the shops. So at-tujjaru is the mubtada. Fatahu ad-dakakina is the verb sentence sitting in the chair of the khabar. But what is this verb showing? Is this verb is a singular verb or this verb is showing the plurality? It is showing the plurality. Why? Because it is coming in the middle. If it is coming in the middle, it must be connected with mubtada. So we can see that about this mubtada is the khabar. We cannot say uh, they male and then we say they male, uh, they female ate it, right? We must have to match it. But here in this sentence, verb sentence, we will use the first form of the verb. uh, First form means the first which comes in the conjugation, which is a third person singular. Fatahat tujjaru ad-dakakina. The merchants open the shop. Second last here, at-tabibatu dhahabna ila al-mustashfa. The female doctors, they went to the hospital. How will we make it as a verb sentence? ذهبت الطبيبات إلى المستشفى. Then at-tullabu fahimud darsa. So we will use this wow here. Why? Because we are talking about who? This khabar, fahimud darsa, is the khabar for this mubtada. This mubtada is masculine and it is plural. So we are saying at-tullabu fahimud darsa. The students, they all males understood the lesson. Can I say the students and then say fahimud darsa? The meaning will be they students, he understood the dars. You see, it is wrong. So this is another explanation that why you will just get your head round to it and understand that why we are adding wow here. Whereas in this case, fahimatullah darsa, we are beginning the sentence with the verb. So by default, this is the rule that we will use. third person singular form of the verb if we are opening the sentence with the verb. Fahima tullabu ad-darsa. Fahima is fi'l madi. At-tullabu is the doer, and ad-darsa is maf'ulun bihi mansub. I hope it is clear, sisters. So we have understood this clearly. Al-awladu sharabul qahwa and sharabul awladul qahwa, they both mean the same thing. There's no difference in the meaning. Only difference in these two sentences are that the sentence number one, al-awladu, is a noun sentence because it is beginning with the noun, and shariba is a verb sentence because it is beginning with the verb. I hope it is clear. This is the same thing. Another exercise for what we've done. Kharajat tullabu. This will prove the point what I was telling you, that we must know if we are using the pronoun, who we are talking about. So look at this sentence. Kharajat tullabu. First of all, the sentence is beginning with the verb. So we are having third person singular form. Kharajat tullabu. Wa dhahabu. And then it is coming, they went. Why not dhahaba coming here? Two things. One, it is not coming in the beginning of the sentence. Sentence is beginning from kharaja. In the middle, we are not going to use the third form. In the middle, we will use what is suitable according to the sentence. So what was the sentence? The students exited or left. Now I want to say they went. Can I say dhahaba? It would mean he went. No, I'm talking about at-tullabu. So I will say dhahabu. So I will match it. And then qara at-talibu wa katabu. Qara'a means to read. It is the singular form qara'a. Why? Because the sentence is beginning with the verb. So qara'a, the verb will come in third person singular form. Qara'a at-tullabu, the students read and they wrote. So I can't say kataba here, because if I say kataba, it will mean and he wrote. I'm talking about all of them. So I hope you are getting what we are actually learning it. Akala nasu, akala means an action of eating. The people ate, washaribu, and they drank. So understand here once again, always third person singular if the verb is coming in the beginning of the sentence. Akala, qara'a, kharaja, all of they are coming in the beginning. And always according to the noun before if they are coming in the middle. So sharibu, this waw is coming because you're talking about an-nas, which is plural. Katabu, this waw is coming because you're talking about at-tullab, which is plural. Here, zahabu is coming because you're talking about at-tullab, which is plural, and of course they all are masculine. I hope it is clear, sisters. I hope you got that, right? Inshallah, you will have these kind of things coming in your test, and I hope that you will become very strong in that. Now here, make sentences like this using two verbs mentioned in every exercise with the words that are between the bracket. So you have two verbs given here. What you have to do is you have to use it on the pattern of the last lesson. So how will you do? You have dakhala and jalasa, two verbs, and then you have two words given. So you have to give a tartib. You have to put these words into the right order with the right vowel signs. How will you say, دخلت طلاب الفصل وجلسوا, right? The students entered in the classroom and sat. So this is the same rule what we've done. Your sentence is beginning with the verb sentence, so you are having third person singular form of the verb. But now, because sentence is coming in the beginning here, so you will just match it according to what was your doer. What was your doer before? At-tullabu. That was masculine plural. So jalasu means masculine plural. But one question, can we use the word jalasa before in this sentence? Who think we can use jalasa? Please, I'll be very keen to know who thinks we can, because we have two verbs given here, and then two words are given here. We have to just make a sentence by making a right sequence, right tartib. Please, sisters, I'm very keen to know who thinks we can use jalasa in the beginning. If you think we can use jalasa in the beginning, please press 1. How we will use the verb jalasa here? What will be the meaning? It will be mean jalasat tullabu wadakhalu, means the students sat in the classroom and they entered. How can somebody sit before entering? Yeah, you see, what do we learn here is our sentence, when we're making a sentence, we are also using all the faculties that, okay, can this sentence be like this? Is it possible for somebody to sit first and enter afterwards? No, they will enter first and then they will sit. You have another set of two words, daraba, qatala, al-awladu, al-hayya. How will you make a sentence? I'll tell you, when you are doing it, just try to think and then make the sentence and then come back to the notes and check if it's right or wrong. Darab al-awladu al-hayyata wa qataluha. Once again, the sentence beginning with the singular form of the verb. In the middle, it's matching the fa'il. قرأ الطلاب الدرس وفهموه. Sentence begins with the singular third person form of the verb. Sami'a nasu, sentence begins with the third person form, but in the middle it is matching an-nas. So Sami'a was the verb, an-nasu was the file. So this second pronoun, this second verb is matching the pronoun according to this file. Here at-tullabu. So wafahimu who, right? I hope it is clear, sisters. And now Sheikh Abdul Rahim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on his soul, Ameen. He is making us strong. Here you have to make sentences by using these words. So I'll leave that to you. There's no point reading is everything is written here. But for you, what you should do is you should open the book, and of course, you should know the meaning of the verbs. And if you don't know, it's okay. Just go back and find out the meanings, but then make the sentences on your own. So use akala, ghasala, qara'a, kataba, daraba, qatala, dakhala, kharaja, hafiza, shariba, fahima, sami'a, and make the sentences. So you may say akala usamatu al-inaba, akala talibu al-khubza. Make any sentence you like. And then you can come and check and see your harakat, your vowel signs are correct on the fa'il and maf'ul or not. This is what the exercise is. And of course, it will give you some practice of writing as well. So I hope it is clear. You can read that when you get your resource back. And then the last one is what we were already done. Man fatah al baba, ana fatahtuhu. So they are showing that fatahtuhu is three words. Fataha, verb, two is the doer, and who is the mafulun bihi. So alhamdulillah, we understand that. Man fataha nawafidha. Here the question changed. Who opened the window? So what's the answer? Ana fatahtuha. The question is, why are we using ha? Previously, same question, we use who. Here we are using ha. Can anybody tell me? Why are we using ha and not saying ana fatahtuhu? Because an nawafid, there is no ta marbuta. Al bab, there is no ta marbuta. So by looks of it, they both are masculine. For masculine, we use this form of the pronoun. Here it is who. Why ha? Well done, because nawafid, there's no sign of feminine, but this is ghair aqil. And we know ghair aqil plural are treated as if they are singular feminine. We have done it so many times. So this is why, what's the singular feminine? Ha pronoun, right? So we will use here ha fatahtu ha. And if it was like we've seen this before, if we use for him, we say darabtu hu. If say I asked her, I'll say sa'altu ha. So this is another example. For him, we use who, and ha, we use her. And these are the new words. Al-inabu means the grapes. Jawabun means the answer. The plural is ajwibatun. Hayyatun means snake. Hayyatun means snakes. Plural. Al-mawzu is banana. The banana because of alif lam. Su'alun means question. As'ilatun is the plural, which means questions. Samaya means he heard or listened. Attinu means the fig, the fruit. Al-baqalu, the green grocer. Fahima is the verb, which means understood. Fahima yafamu. Fahima means what? To understand. I'm not going to say he understood now. We'll say to understand. Samia means to hear. Al-fajru, this is the dawn. Al-asa is the shariba means to drink. But the actual meaning is he drank. But now I said to you in the beginning, we will not go for the actual meaning. We will understand the meaning of the word. So then we can attach that verb to any pronoun, because alhamdulillah, we know that now. That shariba means he drank. But if I want to say I drank, I'll say sharibtu. If I want to say we all drank, I'll say sharibna. So it is enough for us to know the meaning of shariba, and alhamdulillah, we know the usage of pronouns, so we can deal with that. So that was today's lesson. But something very important now. Now this is extra, not the part of this lesson, but it's very, very important for us to understand this so that we can, inshallah, understand the Quran. And this is going to come at later point in the book, but we are trying to be a step ahead, right? To be a little bit doing more so we can understand. So it's very simple. I'm not going to take too much time. We still have time. So I just want to ask you one thing. This is about fa'il, how to identify the doer in the past tense and present tense. Right? It's already, I've said, it's written as additional information. You all know that, but I'll just quickly go through that. In fail al-madi, when it is written like that, who is the fa'il? Who is the doer of the action? If I say dhahabu, who is the doer of the action? They. In English, it is given here already. So you know, and you know that, alhamdulillah. They. If I say dhahabna, it means hunna. Hunna dhahabna means they, all females. If I say dhahabta, it means you went. So who is the doer of the action? You one single male. If I say dhahabtuma, you two males went. If I say dhahabtum, means you all plural males went. So who is doing the action? You all males. If I say dhahabti, You, one female, went. So who is doing the action of going? You, one female. If I say dhahabtu, means what? I went. So who is doing the action? I. If I say dhahabna, means we went. So who is doing the action? Na. How do we see the action here? Sorry, action is dhahaba. How do we see the fa'il here? Do you understand, sisters? Where do we find out the file is here in this particular situation? We see the file is here. All of these verbs are coming as the file. So this is the past tense verb. When you see the past tense verb written like that, you know that this is what is attached to the verb is a doer. But this is past tense. Now, Alhamdulillah, we have moved forward. We have also seen how beautiful fail mudari present tense verb looks like, how to identify the doer in that. Although you can see that by looking at the English translation, but let's not look at that. So I want you to focus here, please, sisters. I want you to focus on three things. We'll just do these three things one by one. And this is not the last time and first time we are looking at this slide. We will see many examples. We will do some sort of practice exercises for this as well. We will repeat it in other lessons as well. So don't worry about it. So fail mudare, look at this word al-fa'ilu. Al-fa'ilu. Where is al-fa'ilu? This blue word, right? So in this verb, yadhhabani, they too, the fa'il is alif. So if somebody asks you in yadhhabani, who is the doer? You will say alif is the doer. If somebody say in yadhhabuna, which means they all males are going, dhahabu means they all male went. Now we are saying in present tense, yadhhabuna, so we'll say they all male are going. Somebody say, what is the alama of the file? How do you know? Where is the file? You say, wow is the file. Move forward. Homa, do first these green ones. Homa also means they too, right? They too. Somebody say, how do you know the doer are two? You will say this alif is the doer of the file, and alif tells us the doer are two. So we are just doing the green ones right now. Antuma also means you two. The difference between homa and antuma is, and homa is they, antuma is you two. So what is the file? It is here in this blue box. Alif. And then tazhabuna, once again, who is the file? Who is the doer? How do you know it's about you all females or you all males are going? This wow. And then anti, you one female is going. So tazhabina, this is the word. Where is the doer here? This ya tells us that the doer is you one female. And then once again, antuma, you two females are going. So somebody may say, who is the doer in this verb, tazhaban? You will say this alif is telling me who is the doer, right? So this was the green thing. Come to this pink one. If it is about third person feminine plural, yazhabna means they. What was the meaning of hunna zahabna? In the past tense, it meant they all females went. But in the present tense, as you can see in English, we'll say they all females are going. So it means they all are going. So somebody say, how do you know that they're going? They are doing the action is done by females. You will say this noon is telling me, this noon is the fa'il. If you come to this one, antunna, you all females. So antunna dhabtunna means what? You all females went in the past. If I want to say you all females are going now, I'll say tadhabna. Somebody say, who is the doer in this verb? I don't know. Because we are learning every time we look at the verb, we see is the doer there, is the doer hidden, or doer is connected with the verb in form of a damir. So this is what we are doing here. So we say this noon is connected with this verb. Originally it was tadhabu. Originally this word was tadhabu, right? Like here, tadhabu for singular. But this noon is telling us that this is about you all females. So these were two things. We will repeat that, don't worry. So for the green ones, all the green ones, I'll tell you later on what is the name of these green ones. The green ones, you will have the doer shown in the verb by either alif or waw or ya, depending on which form of the verb is. If it's yazhabani, then the doer is alif. If it is yazhabuna, then the doer is waw. If it is yazhabna, then the doer is noon. If it's tazhabna, then the doer is noon. So it's clear. So this is how we see that. Now we are done with the green one and the pink one. Now, what about the blue one? So before we do the blue one, I would like you to go back to Fil Madi. Zahaba. Where is the doer? The meaning of Zahaba is he went. We say always doer. The file is there because no action can exist without a doer. Every action must have a doer, must have somebody who's taking the action. So we say the doer is here, but it's hidden. we can't see, but our eyes can see. So our eyes can't see, but our mind can see. Zahaba means he went. Where is the he coming from? We can't see anything written in Arabic which represents he. Huwa is not written here. So we'll see this huwa is mustatir. Mustatir means it is hidden. Is mustatir is hidden inside this zahaba. This is how is the rule of language. So zahaba means he went. And where is the doer? Huwa is hidden. Our mind can see, our eyes cannot see. So remember this example. When you come, and here in Madi, there are only two type of verb forms like that. For the Zahaba, there's nothing attached, and it means he went. Zahabat as well means she went. How do we know this Zahaba means she? By just looking at this harfut tanis. Only looking at this ta tells us that the doer is the female. We cannot see here with that. We cannot see here. So we only see Zahabat. So ta is just telling us that the doer is the feminine. So remember these 2 points. When you come to fail mudare, there are 5 forms of the verb where the doer is hidden. In the Madi, there are only 2 for huwa and hiya, means he male and she female. For them too, zahaba and zahabat, you cannot see the doer. For all of the rest, we can see the doer in the form of the pronoun. What happens? We have seen the green ones and the pink ones, and we could see the doer in the form of the pronouns, alif or waw or noon or ya. But with these blue ones, the doer is hidden. So if somebody say, what is the meaning of yadhhabu? The translation written here, it means he is going. Somebody say, but where is huwa? Because we know here in Arabic is called huwa, and she in Arabic is called hiya. So yazhabu, there's no huwa here. Where is huwa? So look at the file. What does it say for the file? This figure is made here, and this figure is explained here. What is this figure? It means it is hidden. Dhamirun mustatirun. So if somebody will say, where is the doer in yazhabu? Means he is going, will say it is hidden. Likewise, if somebody say tazhabu, means she is going. And if somebody asks you, where is the doer? You will say doer is hidden. If somebody say and tadhabu means you are going, you one male are going. Somebody say, where is the doer? What's the sign of doer? Because in the green ones and the pink ones, there was a sign, alif, waw, and ya, and with the sign here, you will say there's no sign. It is hidden. We can't see the doer. Doer is inside the word. So, and then we come to this fourth one, adhabu. Somebody say adhabu, but where is the pronoun? We saw alif and waw and ya, and they were attached to the verb and they were giving the meanings. Where is the doer here? So we will say that the doer is hidden here. Doer is inside the pronoun, which means ana. Adhabu means I am going. I am going. But it's not zahir here, it's mustatir. Same, this is the fifth blue one. Nadhabu means we are going. Somebody may say, where's the pronoun? Because they don't see any ya there. They don't see any noon there. They don't see any alif there. They don't see any ya there. Because if you have noticed, in Failul Mudari, the doer was shown by what? By alif. Look here, by alif, waw, ya, or noon. There were 4 ways to find out the doer in present tense verb. But if you can't find anything here attached at the end of the verb, it means that the doer is there, because by common sense, every action will have a doer, but we cannot see the doer with our eyes, but our mind can see the doer. Okay, so what are, and this is the green and blue and pink. It's not going to be everywhere like that, green, blue, and pink. How will you see if you will find, مثلا, this is يذهب, but instead it is يكتب, يكتب, يكتبان, يكتبون, تكتب, تكتبان, يكتبن, تكتب, تكتبان, تكتبون, تكتبين, تكتبان, تكتبنا, أكتب, نكتب. Any verb, how will you see? We will always not see the color coding. So simple ways just to remember the name. For now, just remember the name of these verbs which are coming in the green. Their name is al-af'alul khamsa, 5 special verbs. 5 special verbs. I'll tell you one more explanation that will help, inshallah, in memorizing and understanding what I said to you. All the verbs which are coming in the category of 5 special verbs, you will see the doer in them in the form of wow, ya, alif, or noon. Let's quickly test it. Wow, where's the wow coming in? Yadhabuna. This is the same, right? Asmaul khamsa, the green ones are special verbs. And where is the ya coming here? Come here. Tadhabina, this is also in the green color. So this is also the part of af'alul khamsa. And alif will also show the doer. So look, alif in yadhabani. But what alif, this whole thing is coming in the green color. So it means this is also the part of af'alul khamsa. And then look at this noon. This noon is also the part of af'alul khamsa. We can see the green one, right? So the verbs will be, you can see in af'alul khamsa by waw, ya, alif, and noon. As far as the pink are concerned, pinks are easy because they too are third person feminine plural and second person feminine plural. We have seen that they always react differently. Even for Madi, we know we only get noon attached to that, right? So in this case of these pink ones, second person feminine plural and third person feminine plural, you will have noon coming as the doer. Whereas, so by doing that, you are only left with these blue ones. These blue ones are called al-af'alul arba'a, four verbs. But they are not four in number, but this is what their name is. I'll end the class on that. I know this is a little bit more information for you at the moment to digest, but what I want you to do is go to the recording once you received it. This particular, it was about 10 minutes we spoke about it. Watch it 2, 3 times. Open the notes, think about it, what we said, hear me, what I'm saying in the recording, and try to make sense. Even if you understand 20% of it, I am very happy. Even if you're just able to understand that all of these asma'ul khamsa, af'alul khamsa, sorry, the green ones will be showing verb as waw, ya, alif, and noon. I'm happy because this is not a first and last time. We will be doing it over and over again. But why we are doing it? So when we see in the book, and soon you will see. You will not see all of them, but you will see some form of that. So then you are not taken by surprise totally that, oh, what is this? I never knew that. You already know that. I'll try to post some explanation for this on Telegram as well. So keep visiting the channel, do the exercises. I hope in a few days' time, you'll become very, very strong. And one good news is next class is going to be the revision class. Next class is going to be the revision class, and we will revise whatever we've studied up to this point. After revision class, we will be left with perhaps only 4 or 5 classes. And after that, we will be done with our level 3. You will have your certificate exams, you will have your nice certificates, and then inshallah we all will move to level 4. So don't miss the next class. Next class is going to be the midterm revision class. So we will cover all of these chapters what we have studied up to this point. We will do a quick revision in that class, and with that, if there's nothing else, then inshallah I would like to end the class, sisters. Please forgive me if you found this last slide a little bit detailed, but believe me, every concept, new concept comes in front of us, we find it a bit daunting. Oh, this is too much, I'm not able to understand. But say Bismillah, read Astaghfar, make good niyyah, make a niyyah that, Ya Allah, please help me. Make dua, Ya Allah, please help me. I'm doing it to learn the noble Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy. Allah has control over everything. Yeah. So make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Start looking into it, start try to understand it. Believe me, you will understand. Believe me. And just allow me and allow yourself some time. We will develop in this understanding, and when we will start doing few exercises bit by bit, you will see how easy it is. Every new thing appears to be a little bit difficult, and shaitan plays a big role, especially you are learning deen here. It's gonna come and say, oh, this is too difficult, not your cup of tea. What is this? Why we are learning this, and etc. etc. I can do something else in this time. Please don't listen to that. Okay? All you are doing is your niyyah is to learn the language of the noble Quran. Bismillah ta'ala, you will be rewarded so much for sisters paying attention and trying to learn that. So Jazakumullah khair. Thank you so much for coming to the class. Apologies for extending a class a bit, but this was important topic and I want this to be uh, uh, explained in the class. Jazakumullah khair. So if there's nothing else, inshallah we'll end the class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.